NorCal. 209 King of Comedy. It's Rick without the K. James presents, in my opinion, podcast.
So on this question, I'm going to actually let you introduce it and stuff because this is a question that's more dear to your heart. So you kick us off on this one, Rick.
All right, man. Hopefully we don't go too long on this clip, you guys. It's because I want to know. I don't. First off, let me state that I don't really watch a lot of sports nowadays. So that's why we haven't really gotten into sports. Is because I don't really watch a lot. So we're going to talk about an older generation.
So that was like
basketball
your disclaimer that I'm not. I really don't know what I'm talking about right now, but I'm finna put something out there. Okay.
So we're gonna talk about late '90s basketball. All right, and I thought about it where I didn't really think about it, and I put up a TikTok video where I stated that AI was a better shooting guard than Kobe. I'm gonna tell you why, and then you guys are gonna dispute and say that Kobe was the greatest and blah blah blah. So the things that I talked about, and of course TikTok you only have 60 seconds, so if I can remember everything, is one, I can say that AI had a better fucking shoe. And you can't say nothing, Jay, because you're rocking AI fucking shoes right now, alright? Like, he just had a better shoe. Secondly, they both came into the league in 1997. And you know...
Can I interrupt one thing real quick? Why the fuck are we talking about shoes when we're talking about who's a better shooting guard?
Because
this is why I put me on blast. I want to.
But I mean, what the fuck does that matter?
Because
he brings this up all the time. Fucking shoes shouldn't matter about whether you're a better point guard or not.
But they do. Because I'm telling you, if I'm Kobe, I'm not going to release. He had some ugly ass Adidas that came up. See, at least he admitted that. Thank you.
Right? Kobe.
He had some ugly ass Adidas, but they came in the league the same year. AI came in the league as Allen Iverson. AI came out smashing on motherfuckers. Who won the Rookie of the Year that year? It wasn't Kobe. And they came in the same fucking year. Let me say that again. Right. It wasn't Kobe.
Kobe was 9 years old when he fucking started, man.
And fucking AI was 21.
That's because the first year, the coach didn't even put Kobe in the game. He was trying to keep.
You know what, Kobe?
And
I would have to check the stats, but it was less than 8 points a game.
Kobe had never played in college. Mm-hmm. Kobe came right out of fucking high school, where AI had played in college.
The biggest one that I've got here, and I'm not stating that Kobe isn't great. I'm stating pound for pound, who's the better shooting guard, and it was Allen Iverson. Allen Iverson is listed as 6 foot tall, but he's probably 5'11". They gave him an extra inch. If Allen Iverson was Kobe Bryant's height, we wouldn't even be having this fucking discussion, people. All right? If Allen Iverson was 6'6", 6'7", like Kobe is listed at, we wouldn't even be having this discussion. That man was a beast and had no fear in his fucking heart. Shots out, Allen Iverson. You was top fucking shooting guard for me. And did you see what he did to Jordan too? We don't have no fucking clips of Kobe breaking Jordan's ankles like AI did. Man.
Okay, it's my turn.
We just got clips
of
him falling over Jordan.
We're going to come back to me, but because I know things are going on in my head, but this is my era of basketball.
So this is what drives me fucking nuts. You're trying to put it, it's all a situation, okay? First of all, that's like comparing Muggsy fucking Bogues to fucking Shaq, okay? Well, if they were the same height, oh, come on, man, they're not the same fucking height. So if you want to go pound for pound, you want to go height for height, absolutely Iverson is better than Kobe Bryant, okay?
Thank you. Okay, cut it.
Hands down if you're talking about, but you're not talking about on the fucking court. You are talking about fucking an unreality situation. You're talking about if this, and if that. Now, to me, I never was a Kobe Bryant fan. Wasn't then, I'm still not fucking now. I always liked Iverson better, but as far as the teammate goes, the way he distributed the ball, all that type of stuff, I'm going to go Kobe every time because I think Kobe made his partners better. Now, I remember Dumar on the Pistons, he had made a comment one time, and I told you about this. When he went against, who's that guy everyone thinks is good? What's that guy's name?
Oh, you're talking about the greatest basketball player ever, Michael Jordan?
Michael Horton? Anyway, so him, they talk about him. Dumar said he watched him walk out on the court in his 6th season. By the way, I think it was 6th or 7th that they won the championship. And he was sitting there when they pulled him out for his rest because he was a starter. He looked over and he said, holy shit, we're in trouble. He's starting to fucking pass the ball. He knew that season Jordan was going to be great because he finally started getting other fucking people involved. Before then, he was going to take the ball and go to the rack, and he knew it every time. To me, that was AI's fucking problem. When the shit hit the fucking fan, he never looked for a partner to give the ball to.
Did he have a partner to give it to?
He didn't fucking care.
He didn't have a fucking partner.
Listen, do you know who Bob Cousy is? No, you don't, because you're stuck in the fucking 90s. Bob Cousy.
Because I wasn't born.
Bob Cousy could play with.
Days,
Bob Cousy could play with anybody. John Stockton could play with anybody. They would find a motherfucker to pass the ball. They would set the motherfucker up. They would make the other people better. Iverson did not make anyone fucking better because all he cared about was himself. No. That's why I believe Kobe's. That's
you
why.
know how many steals
that's
Iverson
why I
got?
would take him.
You acting like Kobe, like Iverson didn't play fucking defense.
He played everything, but he was all about AI. We're gonna go to the practice. Motherfucker wouldn't even fucking practice with his fucking partners.
Again, that was misconstrued. That whole thing about the practice. So don't get me started on that. I'll spend 10 minutes trying.
So Muggsy Bogues is better than Shaquille O'Neal, inch for inch. Okay, you're up.
Please,
You ready for me to shut this down? Okay.
Yeah.
Number one, I'm going to say about Iverson, number one, right? I love me some Iverson. Iverson changed the game in so many ways. The swag that you see in the NBA right now, the way they come in, they fit it, is from AI. The way they tattooed up, and now it's a thing and it's acceptable, is from AI. He changed the game in so many ways. Love the shoe, love AI. But is he better than Kobe? Not even a chance. I'm gonna tell you why. You said yourself, the greatest, Michael Jordan. Kobe is the only dude that you can say that is almost a clone of Michael Jordan. The one who can do all his moves, has competitive like him, hit like him, wanted to cut your heart out, was Kobe Bryant. Now we can even talk about 5 rings. We can talk about playing 20 years. We can even talk about how his last game, how he scored 60 in his last game. Like, don't nobody end their last game after 20 years and still hit 60 on you. We could talk all of that, the reasons why he better than AI. But he's just simply better than AI because he kept the team. He stayed in one spot, and he really did. He made everyone around himself better. But at the whole time, he was always getting better. He was always bringing new stuff to his game. You know, working out, making sure people. I mean, he almost like one person like that now is Jimmy Butler. Like Jimmy Butler for Miami. He will work hard, and every teammate is going to work just as hard. Because if the leader's working hard, oh, you come into practice. You working hard. When COVID hit, Jimmy Butler bought all his teammates basketball hoops. Oh, you guys are all going to be at home and still hooping. You know what I'm saying? That's the kind of thing that Kobe had. Like, I'm gonna make my whole team better. And if I don't, if you don't stand up and you don't come to play, I'm gonna pass you the ball. Matter of fact, you even get the ball because you ain't bringing your A game. And that's how Jordan was. Like you see on the Last Dance, how Jordan talked a gang of shit, but he got the best out of his people. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what a real teammate do. AI was good, but he was all about, I'm gonna take us to the promised land. And that's why you seen they made one finals, but they couldn't win because you was right. He did have help, but you can't do it by yourself. You know what I'm saying? You got to be able to bring your teammate, and you got to have longevity in the game. You know what I'm saying? Like you play a couple years, okay, you gave us a couple years, and if I had to choose somebody to watch, like either one, I would love to watch AI because AI was exciting. He'd always go do something amazing. He go drop 40 points, and you go be like, man, I can't believe he did that. But is he gonna win you the game? Maybe not. You know what I'm saying? Because he didn't win games like that even when he dropped 40. He almost like Bradley Beal right now. I could drop 40 and make it look amazing. He'd be like, man, Bradley Beal is amazing. How many wins they got? 6 in the season? So you got 40. You don't even care about that 40. I go home and have 50, my career high. I don't even care if I lost. So AI was more on that page. But Kobe was more like, we go bring the team. And then if you want to talk about off court, you want to talk about how he spoke 8 languages and you know what I'm saying, had all kinds of people from around the world, how he was a brand ambassador, how most likely in the next 5 years you're going to see the NBA change the logo, probably to Kobe. You know what I'm saying? AI even in that conversation. You know what I'm saying? If you say that Michael Jordan's the best, how you going to say Kobe ain't right there with him?
So you bring up like 3 good points to me that supported most of my shit. Outside of his. No, I'm serious. Number one is you brought up the practice stuff. And this is what I'm talking about. He worked hella hard practice off the court. Pushed his teammates. Push. That's why I make the joke about practice. Because AI did not care about that to me. AI did not care about everyone getting together outside doing all that.
On his defense, though, AI just had natural talent.
Right.
AI was just super talented. Like, oh, God, practice, I'm going to drop
And you
40
understand
on
that AI didn't even want to play basketball.
Yeah, right.
Let's throw that out there.
Right.
Like, he had to downgrade the basketball because that's the only way he could play.
We're gonna let you cap it off. I'm moving to you. But the other one was when you talked about how beautiful AI was to watch. That was the thing to me, was AI was much funner to watch. But, like, you're going to lose. You know, he's going to put up 40 points and we're going to lose. And that's where to me, Kobe would get his teammates involved to do some other things that I liked a lot better. Because it felt better to me. You know, like he was trying to win. He wasn't just worried about getting his. And you know, like I remember reading and hearing when Kobe was much younger, I think his second season or third season, they were actually coaching him to be selfish because all he wanted to do was pass the ball. All he wanted to do was get everyone involved, and they wanted him to have that you score mentality, which AI came into the league with. So that's the one thing. I just think he was a better teammate. I just liked some of that facts that Jay just dropped on some of the stuff I brought, which mine was a little more emotional. You had more facts behind yours. But I mean, that's my thing. So you go ahead and take us out.
All right, let's.
Because you're wrong. Me and Jay's right, but you go ahead and finish.
Let's
cut the camera.
Just explain to me how Michael Jordan is your best player, though.
No.
And Kobe ain't there with him.
That's a different subject, because he doesn't even.
I want to say one more thing, and then I'll be gone. For both of you bastards, both of you, there is a guy that used to play named Bill fucking Russell. Okay?
Bill Russell, the man, 11 rings.
Thank you. So this Jordan shit being the best ever, I'm tired of hearing that. That's the thing that fucking kills me. Jordan would take the ball and ride down the fucking lane and get a fucking foul every fucking time, whether he was doing something right or not. And I couldn't stand that. Bill Russell, I don't care if he only scored 4 points in a game, he'd win because he knew what this guy needed. He knew what this guy needed. He knew how to shut this guy down. He knew how to shut the point guard down, the forward. He knew how to get every one of his guys involved.
But you also got to say it's different eras, though. Because, I mean, people bring up Bill Russell in the rings, but then the playoffs wasn't as many games.
Right.
There wasn't really competition.
But you can't.
Nobody could jump as high as that dude.
But he did what he had to do during his time, right? And so, like, one of the best scorers of all fucking time was Wilt Chamberlain. Wilt Chamberlain had 100 points. There was a season he scored over 50 for the entire fucking season he averaged, right? And fucking he only has 2 fucking rings, considered one of the best centers of all fucking time. Why does he only have 2 fucking rings if he was that fucking great? You know why he was fucking only had 2 rings? Because he played during the time Bill Russell played. And Bill Russell fucking kicked his fucking ass. And that's why Bill Russell's the best of all time. Michael Jordan can suck it. Go ahead.
All right, we're going to address the Michael Jordan thing real quick, and then we'll make that a separate clip. All right?
I love Bill too.
Again, I look at Jordan as the greatest player ever because of what he did for the game, for what he did for the sport. He single-handedly took a fucking league that was going nowhere and gonna end up nowhere, and he put his back into it and fucking made the league to what it is now. You can argue whatever you want, but Jordan was the one who did that. Back to AI.
Jordan made it popular. That's absolutely because you know what? It had gotten very
and had the
boring
talent to do so, right?
But
so it's not only, but it's taking that whatever was put onto you and making sure you got it to the next level.
I remember
they
that
bet
time,
on him, and they're glad.
I remember that time basketball being so boring, and I remember hearing the talk just come about had to watch the game because of this guy. And because, I mean, I remember just watching him, how there were times like you're like, and that's why he's called Air, of course, where it's like, is he going to come down? I mean, it was fucking cool back then.
Look, let's say that I'm going to give y'all something y'all probably going to trip on, though.
All right.
When Jordan really took over, it was Jordan's time. What he really did was brought people together on the game. Because if you really think about the history before that, basketball was more of a split race thing. If you was white, you loved Larry Bird. If you was black, you loved L.A. and Magic Johnson. And it was a race thing. You know, basketball had really become size. Like, I'm white, I love
because that's
Larry.
what sells sports, no matter what sport it is.
But I never looked at it that way.
But there were so many people who did. And
Bill Russell's black, you know that, right?
I know that.
And that's my favorite player of all fucking time.
When Jordan came, everybody loved Jordan.
Yeah.
Didn't matter if you was a white kid or a black kid. Everybody wanted to fly like Jordan. Even though he did a dunk that someone else had did before him from the free throw line. He wasn't the first person. But when he did it, everyone was like, oh my God, he can fly. And it really took the sport and put the sport together where everybody was rocking Chicago stuff. Ain't nobody been in Chicago. Everybody has Chicago
How
stuff.
could a white person like Larry Bird? He was the most embarrassing fucking... He looked like a fucking dork. He looked like a fucking...
Dude, Larry Bird was one of the greatest shooters of all time.
Oh, dude, he was great, but I mean, watching that guy hurt me. He looked like a fucking dweeb.
That was so amazing. There was a game where Larry Bird was like, you know, I'm bored. I'm gonna shoot every shot with my offhand. And he scored 40 that night on the offhand.
Larry
told him ahead of time.
Larry
you know
was
what I'm
great.
saying? Larry was crazy.
Right?
Yeah,
The thing I love the most about Larry is watching him walk. He would trip over fucking a blade of grass. He was the most ungraceful, fucking dorky white guy I've ever seen in my life. Throw him a basketball, and he became like a fucking ballerina.
You know who that is now, though? The Joker.
Who's that?
He's for Denver Nuggets. They call him the Joker, and he's a big white dude, but he's a center, and he's leading the league in like assists and triple doubles. But he moves so like just his own pace. You be like, this dude play basketball, but the dude's amazing.
I'm gonna have to take your word again. I don't really watch sports now.
Watch it,
so back to AI. I want to state a few things. Is one, natural talent. The dude just had it. If he wouldn't have gotten locked up for a bunch of bullshit that wasn't even his fucking issue, they kind of just high profiled him, put him in jail and shit, and took away his options from playing football. That's what he wanted to do. First and foremost, they took away all that. Colleges took away every opportunity. It wasn't until the Georgetown coach came back and was like, hey, he can come play basketball for us if we can get him out. When he got out, he went to play basketball, went into the league. Everything else is fucking history.
Thompson?
Right? Thompson, yes.
Love that dude, man.
And
That's
great fucking coach that looked out for
right there.
that looked out for his players. Secondly, this argument of the rings. There's great players. Clyde Drexler was a fucking great player, never won a ring, right?
Good man.
So, and I hate the fact that Kobe Bryant fans act like those first 3 rings weren't because of Shaq. And I want to say, I'm going to put it on record that I was a Lakers fan up until that point. I literally have a Shaquille O'Neal jersey when he left to Miami because of that. I felt like if the Lakers would have made Kobe just man up and fucking deal with Shaq, they would have had way more rings together. Again, the reason I don't watch sports is because I feel like that 5th ring shouldn't have been. I felt like that was like Celtics played all 3 quarters and then stopped playing the last quarter for Kobe to win his 5th ring. Bullshit. It's setup. The same reason we're going to talk about Tom Brady. It's all a fucking setup, people. Like, these sports are rigged, all right? So I just want to say that that's why I prefer AI over Kobe, is because we give Kobe Bryant credit for shit on Shaq winning those 3 rings. I'm glad Shaq won a ring before Kobe did. I'm glad, like, I felt like, you know, and both of them had egos. I'll state that they both should have learned how to work together. But as an organization, and the Lakers and you know, they probably have way more cap salary than anybody, than any of the fucking. So you're trying to compare a Lakers brand that everybody knows to a 76ers that nobody wanted to fucking watch at the time. So they didn't have the money to go out and spend for the people. Kobe's had people around him to win that shit. So I was just like, that's where I was looking at it, and I didn't realize, going through all the stats, I was like, man, I didn't realize that they both entered the league the same year. I didn't realize that Kobe didn't win Rookie of the Year. You know what I mean? Until I was looking at this shit where I'm like, AI is a bad motherfucker. And for someone that, if you watch the videos, and there's videos out there of Kobe Bryant saying, I wanted to be like AI. There's no video of AI ever saying he fucking wanted to be like Kobe. There's not a motherfucking one, all right? Where there are videos of both of them saying they wanted to be Jordan, and I'll give you that. Kobe probably mirrored his game.
Are there any videos out
Jordan.
there of AI having an actual complete sentence?
Yeah.
I'll give you a video with them.
Yeah. AI.
Could AI spell AI?
But AI, come on, we can't compare their upbringings though. I mean, you have one. Yeah, that's why he's more worldly.
I can't believe you're fucking comparing Rookie of the Year. How are you comparing Rookie of the Year to 5 fucking rings? You act like, oh, this is some great thing. He was Rookie of the Year. Oh, the other guy won 5 fucking rings, so that trumps every fucking
back.
time. It doesn't matter. He was smart enough to ride that back. That's the kind of thing.
He wasn't smart enough. He got lucky enough.
See, this is the thing.
Remember, he was supposed to be a Charlotte Hornet.
This is where we
and
talk.
Gladdy Divac didn't move over to Charlotte.
This is where I talk about have the mentality to win, just like Tom Brady. I don't give a fuck who you are or what you are. You don't have. We talked about Larry Bird. I watched Larry Bird. To me, he looked like shit. How he always find a way to win, because his mentality was winning. He didn't give a fuck how he got to the finish line. AI didn't care about the finish line. AI cared about, did I get 40 points tonight? Did I do this? Did I do that?
He was told to do that. That was his job.
That's all he gave a fuck about. AI can't spell AI. And fucking, I'm telling you right now.
I hope AI sees this, and I hope you bitch slap this motherfucker when you see him, AI, please.
Kobe Bryant, I just don't understand. You make one of your points you try to make, and this is where I think you're being stupid. You're saying, oh, he's got this under his belt. He's a fucking Rookie of the Year. Great. He was the best fucking young kid came in that couldn't do shit. All right. So, because they don't matter when they come in as a rookie. It's their next few years when they learn to win and be champs.
No,
by the way, Kobe learned to win 5 championships. Excuse me.
But that's what I'm saying is
and
the
he did
point
with
I'm trying to make
teammates,
is Kobe came in and became Kobe Bryant.
Right.
AI was just AI the entire fucking time.
Yeah, and I understand that.
That ain't really all of it.
But you know the thing of it is,
Kobe came in and he was already good. He was the most youngest
now listen, I'm going to slam this
down. I don't want to go long with it.
But they didn't let Kobe be Kobe until.
But there were certain things where people give too much credit to Kobe, like even the slam dunk contest. If he really wanted to be a slam dunk contest, he didn't win over anybody that fucking year. You know what I mean? Go against Vince Carter. Why did those two battle it out? Because Kobe would have lost his monkey ass if fucking Vince was on that shit. Vince would have jumped over that motherfucker.
You talk about fucking, listen, I'm going to cap this. You talk about fucking AI becoming AI. I mean, AI always was AI, okay? And Kobe became Kobe. Let me tell you what. Coal becomes a diamond over years of pressure. AI, shit is always shit. We're ending this.
Main man, Ric James. That's the one you think. The comedian Ric James. Get up.
I can't hear my neighbor crying. I can't breathe.
Please hit the subscribe button down low so you can see all new clips, all new episodes coming to you.